So if you have a performance car, do you want a real man with rear drive or an X-Ray 4WD that can flex and stretch? Don't worry, try to say 321 and get in the car. The main appearance changes of the 2024 M4X Trap Thunder Edition Million performance car are the headlights and taillights. I think the taillight modification was really successful this time. I used the 3D laser linear taillight on the M4 CSL. Wheels as always. I think many friends think this wheel hub is handsome enough, right? The mix is too wide. The front is 275/35ZR 19 inches, and the back is 285/30R20. This car uses a lot of carbon fiber trim, air intake, scramblers behind the mirrors, diffusers, including this carbon fiber roof, sporty brass chairs. 10 seats down, the first feeling is, you know what it's like? Especially like the chair we sat on the roller coaster, because the support on his side is very three-dimensional. So I feel very safe and locked it inside quickly, but it is magically soft. It's still quite comfortable. It's hard and soft, but this seat is the latest. And this is cool, and you can see it on the side, right between our legs, and it's made of carbon fiber. Here, it's there to stabilize you while you're driving. It's the way it looks, and I think it's pretty bold. So for example, if somebody's been in your car, they may have been in a lot of cars, but they're going to be like, wow, that's a cool car. Just gives us a 200,000 feel. Before driving, I have a question I want to discuss with you. If you give you money for free, how would you choose M3 and M4? In fact, I think the M3 and M4 are essentially the same, because when he started the E-Series, he only had M3. Only in the F-Series did the M4 come out of nowhere, so I think he's more of a two-door version of the M3. So in this way, I think maybe M3 is more pure and its limit is higher. But I despise myself for its appearance and justice, and I will always choose M4. In fact, I think if you want to choose, you must choose this burst color. What are you afraid of? You drive an and pink flavor? We just want to show off. Unfortunately, it is. The tires on this car are now ravaged, so we can only open it gently today. Then let's go and have a gentle wind with my sister. Turn on, it's flat now. Red back to the right direction. And power stitches. Carbon fiber decoration. And then the back of the carbon fiber paddle shifter is red. There are those little particles that increase friction. It makes it more enjoyable when you change gears. And now, his steering feels actually very light. But this light and accurate style is one of the very important interactions that we have with cars and roads. So if you feel particularly good with it on what's turned, immediately you think this rack control of this car feels amazing. Just because he has a controlled car doesn't mean it's necessarily hard to drive. Even if you are a novice to drive this M4, you will first feel that I rely on. It turns out that my driving skills are so good. Brother, it's not that you drive well. Yes, this car is good. This car is a four-wheel drive version with a 3.0T DC engine SR. It has 20 more horses, so its maximum horsepower came to 530 horses. Peak torque is 650 Nm. 100 kilometers acceleration is 3.5 seconds. What about this voice? Feel it! What can I say? But it's just not as fierce as I expected. Just not so fierce. I feel like I owe a little, and I think we all know why. It's my S5M, and it's just so-so. I don't know if it's my illusion or what. But anyway, all these cars now, the sound is really not as enjoyable as it used to be. Needless to say, the 8K gearbox is fine for you to drive this car for daily transportation. And he was very comfortable as a whole. When we, for example, went into gear, when replenishing oil, you can still feel that it is his speed, and the feeling of climbing is still relatively soft. So that is to say, many friends will definitely think that if it is a performance car with a gearbox at all, it is not pure enough. But for me, I don't think I want a particularly pure one. It's just a car that I have to pay attention to, driving all the time to control it. And in fact, to be honest, it's not just BMW that uses a T gearbox now. A lot of supercars are now using at gearboxes, so here's the problem. Do you think it will be faster and more comfortable with the current trend? The high horsepower GT is a mainstream trend. If I had to choose this car, or M3, M4, if I had to choose, I would definitely choose the factual version of xDrive without hesitation. First of all, because its four-wheel drive version is only 50 kilo heavier than the rear-wheel drive version, but you can have two cars with completely different personalities. If you, for example, switch to pure rear drive, that's 530 horsepower, all in the rear wheels. It's just a high-powered rear-wheel drive car, and it's a blast to drive. What about smart four-wheel drive? That is, the car will automatically distribute the power to the front and rear. When you drive, you don't know what's in the front and what's in the back. However, the vehicle will be based on, for example, the posture of the body, your throttle opening and closing angle, etc., a series of this state to automatically distribute the front and rear power, but he's still going to be a rear drive setting. What about the standard four-wheel drive state? It is to ensure the power distribution before and after 50-50 as much as possible. Then take the M3, M4 rear-wheel drive and four-wheel drive versions I was driving at the time. Swedish ice and snow test drive. That is, if you turn this car to rear drive. This car is super easy to float. Babies are really a foot of gas, and immediately your tail will swing. Great ups and downs. However, there is a problem that it is also very easy to turn around. And as long as you say it once, it is actually difficult for you to save it. But if you, for example, adjust to four-wheel drive, this car is just not so easy to float though. But for example, if you push it a little bit and float it a little bit, as long as you dare to give fuel, as soon as you give the fuel, the truck will definitely be able to pull it out for you directly. It's basically hard to turn around. So for me, the 4x4 version is actually a lot more fun, because you float the whole track in a row. Then I had the illusion that, my God, my technique is so good. But what I've come to realize is that it's not that you're perfect, it's that the car has great self-control. So this is also a better setting for a car. He doesn't need to say, I must be a professional racing driver. I must be a professional, a super frame control expert to be able to control this car, to get the feel of this car. In fact, ordinary people have a lot of fun in this car. For me, I would still choose the four-wheel drive version, and it is unswerving. Although it is of high quality. How should I say it? High technology plus high power can fight this high quality. You can fly vigorously and it's over. Heard that sound just now. We didn't adjust to M mode. Now cut to M1 to feel it. As soon as you hit the M1, he's bored like a beast waiting under you to drive him. It just feels okay. I hear that glorious voice. Bigger, faster, more comfortable, and smarter. I think the biggest change from the BMW M4 to the G82 of the F82 is the blessing of the SRAP four-wheel drive system. Let you be a real man in the later stage, and you can also relax very quickly. So that's why I like M-Power. Maybe it is precisely what many friends who like pure frame control performance don't like, that you can drive faster with relaxation. Then you can also control the car without having that much driving skills. And the car has a little bit of control over that sensation. There must be no right or wrong with this thing. But for me, I just like the feeling of being fast, comfortable, and in control of him. So is there a baby who thinks the same as me? If you don't agree, of course, that's fine. After all, gentlemen are harmonious and different. We have a lot of time to discuss and communicate a lot in the future. Finally, thank you for watching these programs. I'm Joanne. See you next time.